everyone. Welcome to Wager Talk. My name is Minty. You can follow me on Twitter at MintyBets. Joining me today, I have Marco D'Angelo at Marco in Vegas on Twitter and Tony Finn at, Finn at Wager Talk on Twitter. Today, we are going to be talking about Atlanta versus Minnesota. Matt Ryan versus Kirk Cousins. What do you think, Marco?
Well, we're going to start with this one, and I think we're getting value with the Falcons because coming off the preseason, Minnesota's look good. They look good every preseason. Zimmer is a coach that goes into the preseason and he wants to win those games. And you couldn't have a more polar opposite coach in Dan Quinn that absolutely cares nothing about preseason. So guys that are looking at what these two teams did, they're saying Minnesota should run roughshod over Atlanta. Well, I'm going to give you one stat. I'm not a Kirk Cousins fan, never have been, probably never will be, but his record straight up against winning teams, 9-20-1. 9-20-1, and Minnesota's laying points here. That's going to land me on Atlanta in this game, and I'll have more, but I'll kick it to you for some, Tony.
As I said before we even opened the video, it was all Marco because I have a horrible read on Quinn. I've just and we'll go back. Let's go back a couple Super Bowls where we spent together at Jerry's and you can't possibly like Atlanta after that game. But
see, I had Atlanta, I had the under, and I ended up tearing up both tickets.
Yeah. And I didn't know he was on Atlanta that day. And I remember I had just randomly had a fun bet, you know, and I had played New England in the over, and I was already ready to tear my ticket up the second quarter. I'm out playing video machines trying to get my money back. Listen, Minnesota, as he described, has been terrific in the preseason. Zimmer plays preseason about as close to real football as anyone in coaching right now. And not only that, I always, if I don't like Minnesota in week one, I typically pass on the game. They are a team that's been terrific in week one. Zimmer does some things. I think they lead. I think they have 4 defensive touchdowns in the last 4 years on kickoff weekend, NFL kickoff weekend, and they're at home. And this is the 3rd straight season starting at home. And in this case, my poor read on Quinn. It seems like anything I do with Quinn is wrong. And laying those points with Cousins puts a little shiver down my spine as it does with you. And so that's why, while I'd love to give you guys a read, I would say if I'm going to play something here, I'm going to bet Zimmer over Quinn, but I'm never right with Quinn. So,
anything else to add, Mark?
Yeah, Minty, you look at Coach Zimmer, and there's no question he's had success since he's been there. But they get rid of Case Keenum to bring in Kirk Cousins. And if you look at the two's numbers, I mean, the numbers that Case Keenum had the year before for Minnesota, you know, until they lose, the playoff game, they made a nice run in the playoffs. He had the same kind of numbers that Cousins was putting up at Washington, but yet they wanted Kirk Cousins. And the offense last year actually regressed some with Kirk Cousins. In his big games, I can't get behind him. I know I had a play on Minnesota. I think they played the Saints last year on a Sunday night game. Yes. And, a couple bonehead plays from Kirk Cousins, and again, they lose a game that they had every opportunity to win. Defensively, the edge goes to Minnesota. Offensively, the edge goes to Atlanta. If this comes down to the kicking game, I got to give the edge to Atlanta in this game. Minnesota's had their problems with the kicking game, and that home field advantage being the week one, the crowd, you're playing in a dome, that's one of the edges that I think is built in for Minnesota because teams aren't used to playing in a dome. Well, guess what? Atlanta plays in a dome, so they're not going to be as affected by the crowd noise. I like Atlanta plus the points in this one. I think they're a live dog.
That's a good point. Listen, if you're going to bet Matt Ryan, you better have a dome over his head.
All right, thank you guys. Wager Talk Text Club, 100% free, by the way. Just text Wager Talk to 33222 to get a $10 coupon for signing up, plus free picks and other special offers.